Hello there. Hello, hello. Good afternoon there, Angry Nerd Rocker. An earlier stream. I know there's a team match coming soon, so thought we'd start the stream and then maybe watch that. I found it pretty entertaining last time. I mean, we would have watched it anyway because it was Eric's match, but I definitely did enjoy the format or tuning in. And I think this time it's Fabi against Wesley, obviously with teammates. And then when's the next one? March 5th. Really going to be marking my calendar here. Jeff, are you going to be watching Naroditsky Hess versus Naka Rosman?
Yes,
It's 2 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday.
for sure.
Post TT. Bercio. And hello to Chess TV. Hey, lowercase one. How you doing, man? Exclamation mark course. I'm too noob for you. Thanks for the half a year.
Are you thinking of making another course, by the way?
I definitely am.
Yeah.
You know, I wish the so I think that I'm really like, I don't know if proud is the word, but let's say proud. I'm happy with the endgame course.
Should be.
I think it's like something people don't expect, but then they're like, oh, okay, it's actually kind of useful. Like I can't lie, but I think it's a hard thing to maybe be your first um, entry into a course. So it would be nice to have like maybe a course that really convinces people, like maybe an opening thing, and then that's also there. So they're like, okay, but if I can trust his openings, like then maybe I'm like gonna be more likely to get this. Whereas just randomly getting an opening course for some people as a first thing might be like, okay, I don't know what to expect from this.
Yeah.
Like I know it's a good thing, so I never feel bad about telling people to buy it. But yeah, I think having like more courses obviously improves all the courses. So I definitely do want to do another one.
Yeah. It's like YouTube when you have like a good video and then at the end you have the end screen. It's
Exactly.
like,
Exactly. Yeah, you have other good videos pointing you towards your other good videos. Yeah. Holy shit, Guardian EU just fell off your motorcycle and it needs repairs. Wow, is that like one of those
flex.
oh, I ran into a wall and the wall needs repairs? Like, wow, that was actually a great comment from Guardian EU. I fell off my motorcycle and yeah, obviously it took the brunt of the damage. I'm too noob for you. Thanks again for the resub. And let me know if you get the course, man, or if you're just checking it out. I'm happy with that one. Hey, Creator X. Mr. Building Habit. What are we doing today? We're watching the warming up here, having a coffee. Yes. I know this team battle is happening today in about an hour. I thought I would definitely tune into that. It looks entertaining. And then we'll go from there. Probably be moving to kick after that. I have my speed run that I'm still continuing, and we also have that puzzles series with the habits puzzles. Oh, what's the update here on F1? Max Verstappen P1 in quali again. That's very expected though, right? Isn't Max kind of dominant? Techno Jungle House music, lowercase one. I've found most of my music lately, like obviously there's some nice sets, but I found most of my music from the day lists on Spotify, which have been like a pretty good source for me to just find new tunes. So that's what I've been using. To be honest with you, Creator X, probably not for a little bit. Just because it's still ongoing, and there are other series coming out. So yeah, gotta be honest, it might still be a couple months. I've also been playing this set, which I'll play right now again. It's great. It's by a guy. Well, it's by two guys. It's a back-to-back set, which is always really cool. So back-to-back set just means that instead of one DJ being there and then being sort of like replaced by one DJ, they use this term like back-to-back, which kind of means that the other DJ who's going to play next is like there with the first DJ. They're kind of like vibing together, and like he's even sometimes helping him out with like basic things to make his life easier, and they often know each other pretty well, so it's usually like a good atmosphere. Um, these two guys are Barry Can't Swim and Salute, which is this has always been a good set. It's new. It's like a month old. I've been listening to it on stream a bit. Thanks, Big New 7 for the 2-month resub. Hello to Big Lyosh. Does it, learner? I don't think it's different. Maybe it's just morning. A raspy morning voice. Barry Can't Swim, PowerNet. But it's a back-to-back set. You should be able to find it. It was played in Australia. Hello, Zoomers. Did Eric retire from streaming? Are you asking because of his stream last night? You're wondering if he hung up the skates after his stream less than 12 hours ago? Wow, that's exciting, Jeff. He said he just got the course.
Who?
The guy who was checking it out in chat, who was
nice.
pointing out. Very nice. I'm too new for you. Let me know what you think. It's a different type of course for sure. It's not just like an opening one. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm pretty happy with it. So
Wow, and he got and got a science set and 2 marks and a signature
oh
set book.
hell yeah, it's a haul.
Yeah.
It's a haul. Some goodies. I like that.
Okay, I'm gonna go ship off your order.
Oof, I love it. You're getting some premium service here. Do a rap battle against another GM? What's your idea of the other GM in this equation? Like, who do you think can drop a bar? Not just a chess player, a grandmaster. Otherwise, we're nominating Omizi and he's taking everyone out. Kramnik, eh? Okay. Dania, Kramnik, Wesley, Fabi, Feingold, Hickey, Hans. Do you like? Do you guys hear yourselves? Sometimes I wonder that. You're not wrong there, Bobby Block. But you know what? I'd love to see my man Harry Mack and my man Omizi go at it in a friendly way. You know? I love Harry Mack, man. That guy's great. Do we think Levy has bars? He's probably like low key a decent guess because you don't have to think like who's the most naturally inclined. It's like who could actually do it. I don't know. He's been doing them YouTube intros. You know, it takes a lot of creativity to be good at YouTube. I think he would probably surprise people. Not a GM though, so still doesn't qualify for the specific question asked. Which is why I was saying, as soon as you include non-GMs, my man Omid is just gonna mop the floor. You know, if it's titled players. B Rand the Don, thanks for the 5 months with Prime. Buck81, thanks for the 37 as well. This was actually kind of nice here. First of all, it was a great game, great opening. Like, I was pretty happy with this. But, yeah, this was a nice queen trap here. Yeah, if you guys want to name GMs who've actually done rap before, you'd have to name Magnus Carlsen, right? Do you guys know that he has a rap song out? Yasser Sarawan, you know? The Time Boys, don't be sleeping on Yaz as well. Very surprised that those names weren't mentioned. Bobby Block Body, 24, the big 2 years. Oh, Bantmo with some great energy there. Yeah, you haven't seen the. I'll have to pause this great set. Mm-hmm. It really occurred. It really did. He rhymed bad boy with bad boy, a true rap master of the 21st century. Mm-hmm. Bars indeed. I'm just saying. To not even mention the man's name. Disrespect at its finest. It's most certainly not King Kong. Most certainly not. Hey, check raise flops. You want to listen to Bob Marley, Bantmo? Bantmo, you know we have song requests on the channel, my friend. But those, you gotta donate for those, my guy. But I'll tell you what, if you donate for one song, I'll play you a couple of my favorite reggae songs on top of that. We're listening to a pretty nice set right now. Just a just a warm up. Whoa. Oh no. Oh no. Man, we got. I'm gonna do my best here. Okay, we just have to go solid. Oh no. I thought he played queen c3. Man, this position is so winnable. I know we're down a piece, but queen e7, rook e8, I'll win it for sure. Like, I'll put money on winning that position. This pawn's also on a light square, and he can't defend it except with a rook. Ugh. These positions actually depress me. I'm like up a piece, but like Hikaru would beat me as black there, like most of the time. That's annoying. Queen c2. Should have expected it. Position is overwhelmingly good here. Pretty nice looking, you know. There we go. Gotta adopt this guy? Oh, okay. Whoa. I gotta sit up in my chair, you know? Okay. Hmm. Damn, it's a good one. Damn, that's another good one. Okay. Played a bad move there. I don't know why he wasn't bringing his king towards the pawns. Very strange. Very strange. Wanted to go knight f5, but I couldn't. So now we're in this annoying position. Oh my goodness, dude, I'm like blind. Oh man, I can't even attempt to do anything here. I don't even have this. Nothing. Nothing. How can he play so bad? How can he be that bad and win? Incredible. What? What did I just look at? You should have lost that game. Huh? Dude. Man. That's so annoying. When your opponent plays so bad, but they're winning, so they win anyway. It's like, ugh. What the hell? 95. I don't care about this pawn. It's a bad move. Yeah, we don't care about this pawn now. I have to start again for Lally. That was a really bad loss, that one. Okay, now we're finally going to take that pawn if he leaves it there. We like to see that. We like to see that. Pawn takes. What the heck? I need b4. Okay, h4 is actually great for me because now he doesn't have any like sacrifices. I think we should be just kind of fine here. I don't want his queen sneaking in. Just have to go fast. Have to keep the dream alive here. d5 e4 is quite nice. Yeah, getting that trade is good. Queen trade would be fantastic, and we get it. Yeah, we just win this endgame easily, I think. Knight to d6. We just win this pawn and win the game. We can take... Oh yeah, this is done. Okay, let's just play this. Just to have it in there, okay? Now we don't have to worry about it. Get this. It's a weird move. Bishop here covers everything. This guy's kind of annoying. He's obviously going to repeat. Not much we can do about that. Ooh. Okay, this will be good. Don't want d6 to happen. Still don't want d6 to happen. There we go. Okay. Okay, let's play b4. Okay, he's lost. He's very lost. Check raise flops, 34 months. Freddy Patzer, 41 months. Thanks for the prime, Freddy. I'm trying for you here, Lyosh. I'm working. 3 more? Are we gonna get the opportunity? You're getting a running vibe. Gory knows his runners. I trust Gory here. What can I do, Big Lolly? I made my attempt. Alfalfa, getting a sub thanks to Lolly. Thank you. That one sub, that represents the 3 that we're not gonna get. Sad. Nine and he's running. I don't think it's 9. Or where are you getting the 9 from? No, it was 7. That's why everyone was saying 3 more. But wait, I don't understand. You yourself, Lally, said 3 more. And now you're telling me I had 9. You were counting, dude. You said 3 more. Oh, Lally beat him in the meantime. Yeah, tag team, WWE. That must have been it. Tag Lally in for a couple wins and finish her off myself. Yep, sounds good. So did I, Gory. So did I. You know, when the papers are ready to be issued, I'm not one to shy away. This part of the set is probably my favorite. That's right, Gory. That's right. I have to hunt some others for Lolly. While we're also hunting 3K. But one loss will really send us in the wrong direction. Bishop here, I'll go there. I want to trade these. That's the good stuff. Okay. So yeah. Let's go like this. There we go. Now we want the knight here. Okay. I didn't want to allow that. It was a pretty nice technique. He knows what he's doing. Okay, but now I get this. Okay, we're up on time, so we can just flag him. He's definitely, I would say, significantly stronger already than the last guy I played. Just, at least against me. But we'll see. There's only one game. But I thought he played well. He definitely... okay, never mind. Take it all back. To be very careful about this piece. C Learner. Jeff Baldwin 86, thanks for the 10 months. And Twink Time 45, hello to Twink Time. Almost 4 years together, Twink Time. Thanks for the resub, man. Appreciate the continued support over the years. Castling is for betas. Yes, it is. Unless it's on the opposite side. 40 months. Thanks for the tier 3. I don't know, Gory. I mean, like, I would definitely be playing Bullet against someone I gained 14 points against. Doesn't matter who in the world it is. Plus 14 is plus 14. Yeah, that first game was quite close, I thought. That's why I was like even a little concerned. I was like, I don't know if this is worth it here. Ooh, he has bishop here. Man. I don't know how we're gonna win this. Very suspicious endgame win. This might be a move, but oh my god, I didn't even see that. Completely blind. Idiot. Okay, maybe we can do some funny stuff here. Hey, yeah, played that well. Okay, this is okay though. Not the worst. He's playing in the right way, very active. Let's go here. Trying to keep it closed, so e6. Rook f2. Yeah, I didn't like rook f2 because it just takes back my pawn, and I'm in this weird pin, and my king can't move away, so I'm stuck in this pin forever. Like, I can't move. The game that I got, I'm mobile. You know, I'm out there. I'm active. But yeah, I thought the problem with that position was like I didn't know what my next moves were gonna be. In bullet, that's like the worst feeling. Yeah, I was about to take that. I don't know, just a random move. Definitely hard shuffling here. Now I can bring my rook back to the d file. This pawn is also loose, and I don't even see how he can defend it. So he made a overcommitment to defend it, which was not smart. Okay, let's bring the bishop to b6. Comes at the cost of losing my exchange, but oh my god, I didn't see that. Ah! Oh my goodness. Dude, I'm still gonna win, but literally couldn't have converted it worse. It's terrible. I missed bishop h4. I figured like my bishop and rook are attacking his pawn, so he has to kind of defend it. Idiot. Idiot. Midnight, thanks for gifting this up to 2 times focus. Thanks for the bits there, focus. So I started with the chess plasma. Elo increased from 1600 to 1200, all the way up. Wow, I know I will be number 1 soon. Since I got a Holtzkern watch, my GF broke up with who? Oh my goodness. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Your girlfriend broke up with her boyfriend? Your parents disowned me, but at least I know the time, which is nice. I'm glad to hear that. There's no time like the present. Your message earned you a sub here. We're inching closer, but still not quite there. I'm getting challenged to a bullet match from a 172. I'm assuming that this match is getting underway soon. I'm big on the team chess. Yep, starting soon. Let's see if we can hit 3K before it. Oh, these are only +1. This is brutal. This is a nasty move. Because even though he wins material there, he's obviously lost now. It's the best move to play there. Removes all the danger in the position and like gives him a knight back, but who cares? Like I'm up material anyway. See, great facts. Big compliment from Gory. Thinking I was just playing against you, great facts. You gotta take it as compliment. It's like when Kramnik accuses you of cheating, you know? Badge of honor. Are we gonna choke it out, Penny? The team chess starts in like 5 minutes, or at least the broadcast. Probably the match will start a little bit later. Only a couple more points. So I see on the chess.com broadcast, they have called Fabi and Kirilla Team C Squared. Makes sense, obviously. They have their podcast together, C Squared. But then because they had a team name for them, I think they felt compelled to have like a team name for Wesley So and Alice Lee. And they've decided to call them the Minnesota Mainstays. Team C Squared challenge Minnesota Mainstays Lee and So. What? Reminds me of when Eric played Hickey and Levy, and the title was Hikaru and Levy join hands against Eric and Jordan. Yes, holding hands, beating Eric and Jordan. Could be Freddie. At that point, could be. We're hunting our last points. Before the team chess match. When's my next tournament? Probably not, oh no, trying to play faster? Probably not for a while. Not really a tournament, bruh. Okay. I wish playing tournaments was a little bit more exciting, a little bit more interesting, but it takes time, effort, money, and you're not going to perform that well if you're not like studying regularly. So to just like out of nowhere play a tournament that you haven't been preparing for, or even if you're cramming, it's just not the same as being a regular circuit tournament player and trying to compete with people who are. It's just like very unfulfilling. So like the idea, the concept of playing a tournament is so low on the things that interest me. Sometimes I do it, but know that it's purely for you guys. If I ever decide, like, I've played 1 or 2 Canadian tournaments, it's only because I'm like, maybe the content will be worth it. It's never worth it. Every time I do it, never worth it. I imagine almost every streamer feels the same about tournaments they play. Unless they're serious about chess improvement and maybe gaining a title or rating or something, and then streaming is just kind of part of their journey. That's not the case for us. Like, streaming's first, and then to like make up a journey in chess, no. The interest level is close to 0. That's what I'm saying. GVL, pretty much nothing to play for, at least for me. Mac Master. Thank you, Chess on Earth. Oh, he's not here either. No one's here. Thank you, Mattis. For me as well. Oh. It's Shiksha. Or maybe it's Praveen. It's our buddies here. Dude, nobody wants to play us. Is there a protest going on? What? Shiksha with Praveen says, our daughter wants to play with you. Can we have an unrated game? No, this is a troll. Our daughter wants to play with you. Can we have an unrated game? This is a troll, no? Wait, we won! We won! We hit 3K! Okay, I'll agree now. I'll agree. I'll play the daughter. Okay, we're 3K. How did that happen? I wonder how strong the daughter is going to be. By the way, this could be rated. I'm actually not sure. I can't tell if it's rated or not. How do you know? The daughter wants to play 30-second chess. Yes, very funny. Active daughter. This is crazy. I might be playing a 5-year-old. She's a lot better than anyone in chat, I'll tell you that. Okay. Okay, what's going on here? What, I'm just playing the daughter in 30-second chess? I mean, hey, I guess so. All right. I mean, there's clearly some understanding here. You know how strong, like, I don't know how old this daughter is. You know how strong you have to be to even, like, play a 30-second game? That was very impressive. Nine years old. Oh, I mean, this is crazy. Definitely miles ahead of the chat here. Let her win one. Hey, we don't do that around here, Danger Dolan. We don't play like that. Remember, this daughter might one day become a Pranav, right? And I only have a winning record against Pranav because I made sure to beat down while I was better than him. To get the score so large that he'll never come back from it in his entire life. I will always have a winning record against Pranav. That's my life goal. And he's still chipping away at it. Bit by bit, he's catching up. But, you know, I'm trying to hold the line here. Man, I'm just getting like my ego is just taking a hit every sentence of this conversation. I'm playing their daughter, 9 years old, still teaching her how to use a mouse. She's comfortable with a touchpad. I mean, it's like, yeah, you know, our daughter's never been comfortable with her hands. I mean, that little girl always wanting to use her toes. God. And we try to tell her, play with your eyes open, but she insists, eyes closed. So, well, we're working on it. My ego is taking a hit. I don't want to know any more information. Wally Renfield, thanks for the 31 months. Trevi626, 16 months with Prime. And Michael J. Hawk, thanks for the 10 with Prime. Definitely very impressive. GG's to Shiksha, GG's to Praveen, and GG's to the daughter. I now have to respectfully and cordially address 3 people every time we play a match. But we did hit 3,000 on the dot. That's a nice little number, and we hit it perfect timing for for this team chess match. Who do you think the favorite is here? I mean, Fabi and Kirilla, to me, are objectively the strongest team. Objectively. I think Naroditsky and Hess kind of work well together. But if you're really being objective, I think this team is pretty strong. Hey, sounds good, Maori. I'm lurking as well, just watching. I play E3 here. Okay, Wesley's a funny guy. I don't even know if I knew that, by the way. Okay. Big Wes. Wesley just pulled it out. Alice was like, wait a minute, what about takes a knight d5? And I was thinking like, yeah, wait a minute, what about that? He whipped it out. He's like, nah, it doesn't work. Wesley is a total machine. Honestly, Alice is kind of a machine too. Like, I feel like they have, in some ways, like kind of a similar style. Alice is goddamn strong. That's actually a good. That's actually funny. Focus. That is a total missed opportunity to not call the team Wes slash Lee. It's like when Sweden and Denmark play, and the score board says Sweden. I think Knight. What's this? I can't put my cursor over the screen without seeing this. Knight C1, Knight B3 is normal. Oh, how do I turn this off? Oh, this. Ah, yes. Here we go. Thank you, Corey. Get it out of here. Corey's really a gamer. Always has the answers. So, something that's kind of funny, like somehow it just works this way, is when Hikaru and Levy, when Hikaru and Levy team up, it's like, oh, Levy's not doing anything. Hikaru's making every move. But when Wesley and Alice Lee team up, it's like, wow, like they work together so well. Like I think he's given her every single move so far. I haven't seen I haven't seen her contribute. You know what I mean? Like somehow the narrative just it doesn't work that way. But why is it Mandarin Monkey? I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. It feels that way to me too, but is it because it's a woman? Is that why? Is it because it's just not Hickey's? Because it's not Levy? Like what? I'm trying to put my finger on it. It feels much more wholesome and much more of a team effort. But I actually think it might be just the exact same or less. You see, like these are just two machines, man. Like they're just all about that business. Eric and Jordan are like talking about like swiping. These two are not even speaking. They're just calculating. What is a Carlsbad structure? It's f2 e3 d4 against d5 c6 b7. And yes, it can occur from many openings, but it usually occurs from the variation in the Queen's Gambit called the Carlsbad, which is why he said that. Hello, Tim. Hello to Team Chess Tim. I would I would definitely consider just taking on c5 with everything and go like 92. Like this is what I would want to do. To me, this is what I would play in like a bullet game. If I play 94, in my head I'm like, nice, we're winning. Completely wrong probably, or maybe a harsh thing to say, but after I play 94, I'm like, I expect to win. Oh, Tim's been battling all day. Really? What's your reading at there, Tim? Did you peek again? Did you re-peek? Okay. Tim had to survive a lot of blacks. Yep. I think that's what it is. Wesley lets her down slow. I feel like if Levy said 97, 95, and Hickey wanted the knight on f6, he would say like something harsher. Whereas here, 97, 95, which by the way is a completely reasonable suggestion from Alice from a macro perspective. Like it's a reroute. She was just inquiring, like, okay, what about this? And he was kind of like, I think we need the knight on the king side to defend. And didn't say anything else. And just kind of let the silence set in. I think we need the knight on the king side to defend. Just like but to me, White always like amazing, does amazing in these positions. I love this for White. That's what I'm saying, Gory. He is kind of the same. Like he lets her down a little easier, but it is a bit similar. At some point, Wesley is just like, play G6. Like, I'm not here to listen to these variations. Play G6. I would almost play Bishop B1, Bishop A2. B4, I would feel questionable about. Which doesn't mean that it's not correct, but uh, it's very, very anti my style because now the C3 knight just feels loose. I would go like Bishop B1, Bishop A2, more slow, more shuffling. I think this was a Queen's Gambit declined. Exactly, Rose Twig. Yeah, that was cute. You worked hard on that calculation. Now let's just play my move. Queen G3 is not a bad move. Probably Queen G3 just doesn't do enough. It's not bad, but it's not bad in the same way like maybe H3 is not bad, maybe King H1 is not bad, maybe just doesn't like do enough. And unfortunately, we have a position where Black's knight on B7 is about to go knight D6 and about to go knight C4, D6 to C4. So Black has something they're doing, which usually means you can't sit around and do nothing. If Black didn't have like a very like clear plan, then I could make more moves that are just kind of shuffling in nature. But I feel like once White played B4, suddenly both sides are doing stuff. So you have to make moves that do stuff, which is why they played E4 instead of like a more shuffly type of move. feel like Wesley's operating at like 15% battery, like calculation battery. I feel like he's like a slightly worse in the position, but that's like kind of normal even for chess. He's just like, probably make the draw here. You know. And he's still like seeing everything. Knight b3 kind of looks like an interesting move, but yeah, maybe not the best. This looks pretty nice for white. Yeah, knight c4, knight c5 looks winning. And the nasty thing is knight e4, rook e4. If you go here for this, because you kind of hold, you know what I mean? But the nasty thing is there's rook takes d7. I don't think there are many good moves here. I feel like this is maybe his black's best chance. I mean, you're down a pawn as black, but at least this is covered. Parasox. I'm trying to remember which video that was, but I think it was a slow braw game, right? Where I was talking about how to double rooks properly or something. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. That was the game that I was thinking of. I thought it was a slow brawl game, but it was a 10 man off game. That's right. This was a really nice game. I expected white to win though from the opening. Wesley is like okay. No, Caruana ahead of the candidates is like he's approaching like dangerous form. Big fab. I think Fabi is gonna show up for the candidates. He definitely seems to be in good form right now. This is how it always is. The people who are down a piece think they're losing, and the people who are up the piece think that they're barely winning. King h4 to me is a very obvious choice. Can't be handing that piece back for no reason. I think sadly the rook endgame was actually very easy, even though you lose a piece there. Oh, danger Dolan. I think you're just the first to admit it, but everyone's thinking it, and maybe myself included. Valentinian is a definite yes to losing this position. Watching Val lose like a position he said was completely winning in 5 moves, very entertaining. He's gonna take on h2. Yeah, exactly. This is not. I don't think this is that easy. Like, should be winning, but not super easy. A6, king takes c5. Not that easy. It's not that easy, Brian. Definitely a win. I think Bobby doesn't like this. You're starting to see the difference of like intuition between the two. Kirilla wanted to keep the extra piece earlier, and then wanted to uh, basically he wanted to keep the piece earlier, but then when it got complicated, then he wanted to play the more like safe move, rook d8, rook d3. But those are in direct contradiction to one another. If you're going to take the extra piece, you probably have to play ultra accurate. Whereas if you're going to give the piece back for some pawns, you don't need to be accurate anymore. So Fabi was more in the camp of like, let's give the piece back so we can just be up 2 pawns and like just go. And Christian wanted to keep the piece, but then when he needed to be accurate here, he wanted to just chill and like go rook d8, rook d3. So this is what I'm saying, Brian. It's not locked up at all, man. Not at all. Wesley's a funny guy. Somehow drawing this game down a full piece is crazy. Fabi will certainly be tilted. To be fair, J. Cone, Wesley was kind of smiling the entire time. I don't think he was ever tilted. But now the king is trying to go e3, d2, c1 like that. I agree with Alice. That's my. I agree with Alice. Rook h2 would be my intuition as opposed to rook h3. To go back to that rook b2 position. I feel like Wesley might be right that you could just check forever. He just kind of like has this feeling that it's a draw. But I think rook h2 is the way to go. No, TH Toaster. I didn't say taking a piece. I said remaining up a piece. So the two decisions were give your extra piece back and eliminate a lot of the other pieces. What the hell? What are they doing? The two options are. How could Wesley approve that move? That's a weird. That's a weird approval from Wesley. We didn't hear their comms, but he would never let Rook C3 happen without. I mean, Wesley and Alice can't be too tilted. They can't be too tilted because at the end of the day, they lost up a piece or down a piece. So you know what I mean? Like whatever. Um, I think it was here, right? So there's only two legal moves in the position. Yeah. King takes g4 and king h4. King h4, I think we can all appreciate, is the best move. It does not give a piece back to knight e5 check. Kind of obvious, right? But the advantage of king g4 is that in this position, after rook takes a6, you have to take a6. Mouse is going all weird. You have to take a6. And so option one is every single piece gets taken off the board, and you have two extra pawns over here. And you just like go make a pass pawn, like it's just very, very simple, very, very easy. And Fabi immediately was like, king g4 is my instinct. And Kirilla's instinct, or maybe even Fabi's instinct was king h4, but then he overruled with his like experience, being like, no, this is way smarter. But instinct and experience told Kirilla to go king h4, which you can't blame him. It's the best move. Like, it's not a mistake. But then you'll see how the game developed, and you just notice that, like, with all these pieces on the board, pass pawn here, maybe another pass pawn being created here, you just need to be more accurate. So, what I said, TH Toaster, keeping more pieces on the board requires you to be more accurate, obviously, because there's just more going on. There's more counterplay. Whereas trading everything down to an endgame where you have no weaknesses and you have two connected pass pawns is like pretty much zero to think about. You don't even have to compute anything, nothing to calculate. You just push your pawns, and so what I was saying about Kirilla was that he made the choice to go king h4, which doesn't mean that was wrong. I think objectively it was the wrong choice because it's just easier to do other. But let's say people have different styles. This, you can never tell someone this is the wrong choice. But by playing king h4, you have to be ready to play a very accurate game. Meaning, you know, they did a good job, right? But look at these moves. None of them are taking the knight. So what I'm saying is you can't want to keep the pieces on, but then after so many things get liquidated, all of a sudden you want to like take and like make it easier. You have to sort of commit to that super accurate style of play that you've enforced. Neither black pawn can move. Knight e3 is a threat, so the computer is going to want more accuracy and just like some random bishop move. This is not an easy move to make. You know? Like, it's completely winning, but basically what happened was I think Kirilla wanted to keep the piece, but then when the time got really low, he made the choice here not to continue to play in the like fighting style that he initiated with king h4. Instead, he was like, and I don't blame him. Like, I would feel the same. He was like, oh shit, the king's coming in. I'm gonna go here and defend. And it's like, you can't all of a sudden go from requiring a game that's super accurate to like, okay, let me just play some safe thing. It's like, no, unfortunately, you signed up for this. You got to continue playing like a very accurate game. And it's more stressful to play an accurate game, especially in team chess when time gets low. So I think Fabi had the right instinct to just be like, it's so simple to do this, you know? Zero stress. Who's worried about this position, right? Let me just make this. I can go over here with my king. Like, nobody's concerned. So I can fully admit I might be the same guy, despite saying this, who's like, why the hell am I gonna give a piece back? That doesn't make sense. I'll go king h4, especially because like things look fine, and then all of a sudden like a5 gets hit. You got a decision to make. You make a slightly wrong one, then you make another slightly wrong one. It just compounds into eventually one mistake is all it takes. Because when you need to play super accurate, one mistake will immediately turn a win into a draw. Whereas let's say that they had this position. White could make a mistake here and still be winning. This is what I mean. White could make like 5 mistakes and still be winning. White's never going to mess this up, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be very, very hard. Black doesn't really have counterplay here. So, kind of a high-level thing. They ended up winning the game, so shout out to them. I also relate a lot more to Kirilla here because I would have been very tempted and probably would have ultimately gone king h4. But it's a good reminder that the top guys have a lot of experience playing these positions. They know which ones not only they could mess up, but Fabi's also conscious that it's a team event and time's getting low. You can't always communicate your full thoughts to your partner. You just got to go sometimes. So it makes even less sense to require your team to play an ultra accurate game when you could just be up 2 pawns and chilling. Like, imagine their discussions here with the format. They'd probably be like, okay, yeah, I guess king e4, push the pawns. Like, they'd be so chill. Like, they know they're not going to mess up. And Wesley would be ultra depressed because he would know there's no chance. There's no chance for him here. They show how it was a draw. It wasn't very interesting. It's just like white can't move the knight because it's guarding the pawn. You can't move the pawn because it can't go anywhere. And you can't really move the rook, is the idea, because then black will bring the rook back to attack the knight, which can't move, or use the king to attack the knight, which can't move. So that's why it's a draw. What are the rules of team chess? This is not a super official format. But yeah, just no rules really. It's just you can say and discuss whatever you want, agree on a move as a team. One person can agree on a move and just overrule. Yeah, but Kirilla's, the lower rated guide, makes all the moves. I don't think there's any, I don't think there's anything special. Why does it show a win for me? It definitely does not show a win. +1 is, I mean, if I have rook, knight against rook, it'll assume that white's a little bit better because I have an extra piece. You know what I mean? But the stronger the engine you use, the longer you let it sit, the more it's going to be like, okay, this is a draw. But when you see +1, obviously it just means it's a draw. I'm just using like a very, very quick engine. Maybe the chess.com guys are using a stronger engine. Does it mean slight chances? Nope. There are slight chances. You have to remember, computers don't take into account slight chances. There's no computer evaluation that factors in slight chances. That's not a thing. That doesn't exist. It's either it is or it isn't. This position is completely finite. It's either a win or a draw. Assuming everyone plays the best moves, it's a draw. Yes, black can mess up. Yes, white can mess up. But computer evals don't factor in the likelihood of messing up. The only reason it's not 0.00 is because there literally is something which is very difficult for the engine to overcome, which is there is a material imbalance. White literally has 3 points. 3 points of material that it's having difficulty computing doesn't matter. It should be +3 here for white. You know what I mean? But it's like, no, the moves actually don't line up that white wins. So I have these 3 extra points of material I'm supposed to just reduce to 0. He must have Danger Dolan. Yeah. There's no way Rook C3 got played without Wesley signing off. If you're gonna say like, oh, the higher rated player's like directing the traffic, then you also gotta fully blame the higher rated player for stuff like that. No way, Jadu. That doesn't make any sense. Just think of like, black could go here, but obviously it's showing 0.00. Like, it's not gonna show like plus 0.5 or something. Yep, playing again, Tim. Wesley's a troll. I always like listening to Wesley speak. He always likes to get a comment in. He's actually quite funny. Thanks, Supe, for the 50 months, and Texan Pope for 7 months. Some teams are better than others, Wally. Um, I would enjoy the format the most, personally, to have intentionally funny slash dysfunctional teams. Um, and less focus on like, yeah, like I would just want the team to be as like funny as possible. Icky and Valentinian is funny. I mean, Valentinian with anyone. You just need Valentinian with his after a move suggestion. Yeah, the nice thing, I was thinking about it only like as a fringe idea, but what do you think, Sam? Would be interesting. We're definitely going to bring back a few formats in the coming months. Probably Fight Night making some sort of return. Um, but for this type of format, it is nice that if we did it with viewer teams, I could for sure curate them so that I know they would be entertaining. I just don't want to have too many teams of people that like don't really speak or like just aren't very interesting because the whole point is like to have a dysfunctional team or like a team that doesn't get along, like Salty and Eddie or something. Just like opposite styles. You know what I mean? Like but if I'm hosting it, of course I can create it. You're right, PowerNet, but that's only because the stronger player in this case is a super GM. If you had a team of a 1500 and a 1200, you would have a lot of situations where the 1500 would overrule the 1200 and there'd be a lot of arguments, but both guys could be wrong or the lower rated could be right. Whereas in this situation, you're not really going to see many cases where like Wesley and Alice are arguing about a move and Wesley's wrong, or you're just not going to see that argument at all. You know what I mean? But if you have lower rated players overall, they're just not going to fully understand chess. So everyone's going to be wrong at some point. Nah, they swindled them at the end. Face. I don't like the hand and brain as much, Wally. I much prefer the discussion format. Wesley's funny. He said flag the count. The count is Kirilla's stream title, or not title, username, channel name. Manager Monkey will be familiar with the count. Maybe this format with Chess 960? Ugh, hard no. I'm a big Chess 960 hater. I see Chess 960 position and I don't give a shit. People are like Chess 960 is the future of chess. I disagree. Afternoon to J Bell. I would be I would be so out of my depth here. So out of my depth if I was in this game, like as white or as black. Like I'm a GM and I would be like an NM in this position. man, they really gave White an amazing attempt to try to win a game. Like, you lose the first game, and your opponents are playing like this as black. You got the bishop pair, you're down a pawn, lots of weaknesses on the queen side. I feel like White is super happy with this. Yeah, I was. It's a good point, Sam. There's definitely a way to do it, probably with like being logged into Discord. Let's say on two accounts, right? And just being in both calls with each account muted, and like yeah, just unmute each one. But it would definitely have to be thought out. Aka cooler. It is Sand Dude. Chess.com asked me to commentate the event, and I kind of just said no because I was like, not only do I would I rather watch, but I don't even know what like the role of a commentator is so strangely defined for this event. I feel like it's borderline unnecessary. You don't know like when to jump in. I don't really like it. H6 is a very mature move though. That's very nice. Bishop G5 always removes the knight, and then the D pawn falls in every line. So I feel like H6 is really smart. Jake, I can promise you, I did not disable the ability for you to use your prime. I can promise you that. You could still use prime on the channel. That's what I'm saying, Sam. I think the event can run literally without a commentator. Of course, like it can't, like needs some tie-in, but I don't know how to describe it, but no, there shouldn't be like basically no commentator. White's just getting the pieces out. Yeah, yeah. That's a nice thing, Sam, is that if I'm hosting it on the channel, for sure there needs to be explanations or laughter. You know what I mean? Like because there will just be more blunders. So I'm not trying to design something where everyone's playing very well. So it'll be a lot more natural to have a commentator or host in that case. Plus, it will be required literally to hear the different. Like I'll have to be active to hear the different sides. You're not wrong, Wally. They're probably not great at it, but in general, it's a tough job. It's tough to cut people off correctly. They cut them off mid conversation there, but it's because they moved. And in general, I think it's a good thing to have the mics open for the people whose move it is. So if you just use that as a hard rule and you just kind of like cut people off regardless. Plus, you never know. You cut people off, and then all of a sudden, as they're muted, you see them like laughing and like hands in the air. And it's like, what? Are you gonna go back to them for like 2 seconds to hear what they're talking about, and then they're done laughing, and you go back to the other guys? Like it's too much. No, I'm telling you, Wesley's very funny. If you guys remember the fan zone from Toronto, he was like making some very funny comments about my chess rating, about Alexandra. Like he had some nukes prepared. I love the position here for Wesley. Like seems like a few of you guys heard the same thing. That didn't even cross my mind, but probably because I'm just more familiar with chess lingo, and they've been talking about flagging Kirilla the entire time. Wesley is definitely cruising in this position. This has been a really nice game from Alice and Wesley. But it's perfect for team chess because you just know that most moves for white are good. It's hard to like completely mess up. Black, on the other hand, has to play quite well. You mess up as black, you lost. Strong move. Boys are fighting. I'm impressed. Jake, thanks for the 34 months with Prime. Jake 8 Casey. It's 1700 this week. Time to tilt back down to 16. Man, I know the feel. Congrats, 1700. That's legit. You talking blitz? Rapid. Oh, 1700 rapid. Very nice. Can't think fast enough for blitz. Hello, Johnny DJ. You think Fabby's look maxing here? Yeah, dealing with bishop takes f6 here would be tragic. But Fabby's definitely right. Bishop takes f6, g takes f6, doubled isolated pawns is like you could be losing in 5 moves from now or 500 moves from now. Such a rough position. Okay. I want Wesley to win because I want to see an Armageddon. Selfishly. Okay. Santa. Oh, Santa. Rook c4 is a crazy move. Rook c move, holy shit. Wow. Wow, Fabi is really look maxing there, Johnny. Rook c4 is an insane move. Rook e7, rook c4. Holy. Man, I feel like the words are just like it's like when you pour water out of a glass really slowly and the water starts to like drip on the side of the glass. That's how I feel the words are escaping their mouths. I'm like craning my neck to hear. This could be a masterclass. They're down to a minute, and a lot of the discussion on the Fabi Kirilla side is I'm not sure what to do. Fabi's like, it's a tough position, I'm not sure either. What about this? And Kirilla being like, should we do it? And Fabi being like, I don't know, but it's the only thing we've talked about, so yes. And eventually, that pattern is going to result in a mistake or a move that's subpar, and they're down a lot of time here. So you almost have to go knight ce8. This is what I mean. They're down to 30 seconds. They didn't have another move other than Fabi's. He wasn't sure about it, but he was like, yeah, you gotta go for it. And that's exactly the blunder I was talking about. It was just bound to happen. He's right though. It's not like lost, but it's just like, you know, they're kind of getting something here. Bishop takes b6 after king g7 is the move that's probably KOing Fabi right now. Bishop takes b6 is a nasty move. Nasty. Bishop's quite bad on d8. Bishop on d8 is so bad. Man, it's actually really annoying. Yeah. F2 hangs. Probably parasox, but that's essentially what flagging means. Flagging doesn't always mean like just going to 0. If you're blundering because you're about to flag, it's effectively the same issue. F4 is to me a crazy move. That's very aggressive. So it's actually a good point. Knight c2 check has knight e1, and all they need is a draw. Maybe maybe even f6. This is a fun game. AAG, 44 months. Thanks for the tier 3, buddy. Very tense game. Black wants to play f6 and h5. Oh, Alice. This Wesley camera is hilarious, of course. Like, useless. Knight f5, rook d3? I would go rook d3 here. Great coordination. You can almost play rook e3 here. I don't know how drawn that endgame is, but obviously trading the rooks is a little crazy, but so b5, rook d4. I guess you can leave the rook on d4. Just go like man. What a tense game. What the hell? Ooh. It's probably not a good move. Doesn't feel like a good one. b4 says hello. Maybe you go like rook a8 here. Is that possible? It's probably too much. I want to go rook a8, b4, rook takes, b3, and then rook b4. Yeah, rook takes pawn. You actually trap your rook permanently, right? So that's the scary thing. So white needs the other rook on the board, right? Weird. Yeah, I guess the rook can still get out because black's pieces also can't move there. Yeah, rook b7 and rook a7 looks great. But I guess white's gonna go rook a3 and like bring the king to b4. I don't really have an answer to that. I feel like black almost. Yeah, rook a3 and just bring the king to b4. Yeah, king's coming to b4 though. I'm not sure you can just wait here. Yeah, king c4 and king b5. This is, I don't have an answer here. King d6. Probably king d6, king b4, king d5 takes rook check. They have to go like king f5, knight e4. Like I think you have to abandon trapping the rook. I think king f5 and then knight e4 was probably the better order, although it's very similar. The games do go forever. Wesley's great. He says, "What do you want?" Suggests his move. It's great. This is such a hard moment because like the stronger players do just have to take over at some point because their endgame technique is unparalleled. Like, and you can't replicate that in any way. The positions are just so technical now that if you want any chance to win, you have to be so like specific. G4 and rook e7, I think he was thinking about. Yeah, this will be winning though. Wesley is definitely not going to choke this. Yeah, like Wesley's opinion is that this is very easily winning, and I think he's right. Like, I don't think this will be too much of a struggle. I would feel more like Alice here. That like, wait, but the knight, like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Like, but Wesley is like, yeah, he doesn't take this seriously at all. Knight h2, rook h7. Like he spots that immediately. Knight g4, king f3, and the knight's trapped. It's crazy. He can take the knight here, right? Can he? King h7, king f5, king g7. So close. He wishes. He wishes. Damn. That would have been like the icing on the cake, but it's just short of a move. So f5 happens, but the knight's on like the worst square. It's not even attacking the pawn. Wesley knows that he can let Alice have a few moves here, even if she's not fully 100% correct. They will get to the right answer. And then now just bring the king. So if king f7, then rook h6. But here, probably like start with some rook move. Rook c6. Not rook b6, because it might be some fork. You need to defend the f pawn to play king d4. So you can go to h1, but probably sufficient is either rook f1 or rook g1 g5. Rook h1, I think from Alice is a great move. Basically, I think Alice is more than strong enough to win it, but I don't think she has the confidence that Wesley does. Wesley knows this shit is winning, but Alice just doesn't have that experience and confidence to know that this is completely winning, especially against someone like Fabi. But Wesley being like, "It's completely winning," is I think giving Alice some rope and some confidence herself. Like she's finding some good moves now. At this point, Wesley's almost coaching her because he doesn't need to play super accurately. The endgame should be winning anyway now. So even if they miss a chance, they can just get it back. Because now the knight, it has nowhere to go. Masterclass for sure. Yeah, they want like check e7, check e6, king e5, knight d3, king f5, knight f4. And you might be able to win that position with like rook d6 and like weirdly trap the knight, but it seems a little suspicious. You see what I mean? Like I would be scared to play this because of king h5, but Wesley's like, relax. King e5, if king h5, he has to go back. So the line Wesley just said is the one that I said, where it seems like you can almost trap the knight, but very risky to go for that because then there's no pawns on the board. And rook against knight is a draw unless you can separate the king and the knight. Just to like show you what I mean. Oh, this was the last one. I just mean there's stuff like this where you go rook d6 to try to trap the knight, and like here, then you go here, so the knight has like no squares. You see what I mean? And like knight h5, you go here, try to cut the knight. Here you go here, right? But then it's like he escapes. But so I'm just saying like that's probably what he's thinking about, but it's quite risky to do that unless you're 100% sure, because then you have no pawns and you've ruined your winning chances. So you'd never really want to do that unless it was like 1,000% sure. Rook a3 now. Rook a3 is just winning. Masterclass technique. Masterclass technique. So I think the only reason it's jumping to a draw here is not because it's a draw, it's because the engine knows how many moves have passed, and it's it's calculating that with best moves you'll get to 50. So don't worry about this evaluation bar right now. The endgame is just as winning as it was before, but the only reason it's snapping to draw is because the engine knows if you play perfectly, you get to 50 moves before you lose this pawn. Because they've already spent quite a number of moves. So you can basically ignore the bar. Engines definitely take that into account. Yep. Yep. This is an insanely long game, by the way. It's like an hour game. I don't know why I just found that so funny, but Wesley So just saying Jesus like that. Yes. Phone a friend, bro. The knight on e6 is so goddamn strong. Getting the knight to e6 was a massive achievement, and Fabi called that out. He was like knight g7, knight e6 is what I wanted. He could never have gotten it before, but um, that was impressive. I don't think so, Tapions. I know which moment you're talking about, but even if White wins the f5 pawn in a king and pawn endgame, it would still be a draw. Yeah, he can just keep going king f7, king f6. Because Tapions, this is exactly what you were talking about, right? White could play rook c6 here and play rook takes knight and then play king g5 or king g6 and win the pawn. But unfortunately, you can never win that. That is always a draw, sadly. That was smart by Kirilla. If king f6, king g8, not that it's winning for white, but just annoying. No, there's 0 blunders in the game, Mr. Meister. X's means like a missed thing. Sometimes it's kind of a harsh evaluation. It doesn't really mean they're blundering, but like the computers see some weird thing. But I think the misses came from the having to do with the 50 move rule when it went up and down in the end game, so it was a little unfair. Smart not to take the pawn, right? So they should take the knight and go king g7. That's what I would do. Rook a6 and rook takes e6, you must play. Have to. Because after rook takes e6, you can play king g7, and it's just like a bit of a funny moment. If black plays king d5, then they lose to king f6. So I think that's kind of a funny end to the game. Of course, black will go king e7 there, but yeah, gotta go rook a6 here and take the knight, surely. Ah, okay, they only had one move. Just like these positions, right? King d5. Of course, like those guys are never gonna play it. They're gonna play king e7, but it's funny to you know that it's losing. But of course they'll go here, and it doesn't matter if you lose this pawn because it just always take the opposition. Yeah, I don't know which move you were talking about, Tapions, but I feel like whenever it would be kind of the exact same thing. So let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure where your rook e5 would be. I guess here, right? But the thing about rook e5, so this is what I was saying is like takes, and it could be like it never matters because after the exchange, it's always black's turn. So I can literally play king f8 just to prove the point. White never wins these end games, even though the king's in front of the pawn. It doesn't matter. Black takes the opposition after you take the pawn every single time, no matter what, and it's always a draw. So yeah, if the pawns were like on f6 and f5, completely different story. Then you could sack the rook for the knight, and every single endgame would be winning. But when the pawns are here, then it's impossible. Kind of hard to say. These evals look very like uniform, right? But you can see like very big progress being made here. This looked like when it was at the absolute best. Pretty much here. Oh yeah, it is. That game went so long. Holy, and they're not even continuing. Bam Deezy, thanks for the 4 years, tier 3. Cheers, Bam. Vachirinus, thanks for 46 months. AG4410, 44 months from earlier, tier 3 as well. Great stuff. Yeah, the engine is just not super helpful for these kind of end games. I saw Dania was saying that it was an insanely difficult win. I have to admit, I'm a little surprised at Wesley because he seemed to know exactly, like, to achieve this shows a deep understanding, but then he kind of faltered here. 4 years is a long time, Ben. Almost 4 years for Vagirnis as well, and AG. They're like pretty much the same timeline. And a guy on an early access timeline. Mannered Monkey, 102 months, tier 3. What did you think of that match, Mr. Mannered? The Count Live. And Big Fab. I was a little disappointed in Wesley. I mean, I'm not saying it's easy, but it's kind of like, it's one of those moments where you're like, that's not easy for me, but it's supposed to be easy for him, kind of thing, or something like that. I feel like Wesley, it's a little disappointing for him not to win that. I'm not saying I would win it either. That's right. I was recently remarking on how I don't really know the. There's always like the first person to hit a new year milestone in months, and then I'm like, oh, that's how many years that is. Right? Because like 12 months I know is a year. 24 I know is 2. Right? And it gets up to like 60 I know is 5. 72, 84, 96. I kind of have these numbers like in my head because I've called out a lot of subs and resubs over the years, but I've never called out the next year after that. I've never called out 108 months. So I had to really think about it and be like, wait a minute. Yeah, Kurtz is actually exactly halfway to 108 months, like halfway towards that next year. Long time coming. Yeah, I think they're wrapping up the show now. I mean, it's ridiculous. This endgame. Of course, they have to bring up this scene because, like, I'm not even sure how you would be able to do anything. Insane. I think so, Johnny. Of course, not the very top, but easily a top 100 channel, probably top 50, maybe even top 20 or something like that. Because there might be people that did it before us, but they might not have as many longevity subs. They might have stopped streaming by then, you know? Again, I think we have some chess TV coming up. I was going to do more of my speed run. But that's right after this, so I guess it just ended. Like, it's crazy, but there's no more games after that. That was the longest game of the entire competition. There's no way you're going to get a longer one than that. Move 56. Is that is that during the end game? Rook b3. Yeah, rook b3. But this was, I think we mentioned this here. Because after this move, I think king f3, rook b3. They were mentioning king here. And I mean, this is just wild. Like, look at this. Rook before check? Huh, what? And somehow drawing this? Because, yeah, we were saying, like, king takes. It feels like this should be winning. How is this a draw? 93? Oh, okay. It's a draw from, like, letting the rook out. Because, yeah, I was thinking, like, the rook's trapped, but black's going to have to move something here, you know? You can't just, like, keep it trapped forever. So the same principle applies to rook b3 here. But I guess it's more defined because the knight has a check, so. Yeah, so they would probably play king d2 and then Yeah, this could have been the, you know, what is it, 93, they want this, like, knight f1 or something. The king is just so far away. Damn. Damn! What the heck? Well, I was gonna hang out on Twitch and watch that match. Wasn't as entertaining as the other one, but I mean, it's just the guys are like, it's just such a strong event, and the players are so strong. You're not gonna see like tons of blunders, but purists of chess will appreciate that endgame. I saw that World Checkers champ. I'll review that at the start of my kick stream. But yes, as expected, some funny stuff from FIDE regarding the candidates. So I'll bring that up on stream. I'm gonna head to kick right now, guys. We have some chess TV coming up after the event, and I was gonna continue with my speed run, but they're still wrapping up the show, so I'll see you guys on kick. I do like this team event format, team chess format. So the next match I saw was, which will be a much more entertaining match, is this will be fun. Nerditsky has and Naka Levy, and that's kind of an hour after Title Tuesday, the Tuesday coming up. So that's the next match. I'll definitely be watching that one as well. I'll see you guys on Kick. Kick.com/chessbra. Thanks for hanging out. Probably going to do more speedrun and talk FIDE candidates, because FIDE's trolling, of course, and he might not be held in Toronto. I will see you guys there. Just turning the stream off and turning it back on in